Destabilizing foundations. Bonus content of legend. We've got vampire chickens. The world of Ae'oene contains stories with mature themes. Content warnings are in the episode description. There was a cat hair
Welcome
in
back.
my mug.
Oh,
I'm so sorry, I ruined your intro.
That is the intro now, actually.
It is.
Welcome back, audience. Welcome back, audience, for another bonus episode for the World of Ae'oene Stories of Legend. That was hilarious.
It was really gross.
We've got MJ and Rennie here, so we're doing another of the 3-year bonus episodes. Give you guys a little input, little eyes into what goes on in this 3-year gap between our last episode, 11, and 12. If you guys remember last week, you all got to meet Talira's Stonespeaker clan of Goliaths. We're going to directly continue that story for today. So, if y'all don't mind, we're just going to dive right in.
Let's go.
Ykalle.
As we left off last week, Kaldin and Talira, you were both going to leave. Guenther getting ready to go to the Waystone here locally at the clan that she uses to go back and forth between her home and here to help the clan, as she is obviously very good friends with your mother, Talira. But she goes to ready the Waystone, this time to transport you closer to Dalavat, a city that is on the way from the few-week travel from there to the Bogs in southwestern Nitrotare, in which is one of the only places that you're going to be able to find this blighted plant, the blighted honeysuckle, that is one of the ingredients that the powerful dryad lich known as a squiliad needs to try to help your mother. Last-ditch efforts here. As you all begin to approach the Waystone that Guenther is currently concentrating on preparing, Lou stops you, Kaldin, and kind of pulls on your pant leg as our little Lou bear stares up at you. Kind of takes her paw, smacks the side of her head.
He makes that mental connection between him and Lou, and he includes Talira in this. Do you want to come with us, or do you want to stay here?
I'll be honest, I don't know. Kaldin, can they get me here?
You are surrounded by an extremely powerful Goliath clan and an incredibly powerful witch and an old lich, both of whom will be more helpful than us at figuring out how to get rid of those curses on you.
This is the safest place I know.
If you all think I'm safe here, then I think I'd like to stay, because maybe for once I can help you instead of you just helping me.
You don't need to do anything but feel safe. But I appreciate it.
Lou leans up against your leg, Talira, taking a step over from Kaldin, and looks up at you, meeting your eyes.
Lou?
Let me at least help too. I know the loss of a mother, and I don't want you to go through that. Let me help protect you for once. Besides, you need some salmon, and bears are good at catching salmon. It's kind of what we do.
Okay. Thank you. And, I have a feeling Kiro and, Granite Fist. She trained me. She'll be going. You'll be just fine.
I'm glad to hear it. She looks back over to you, Kaldin. If I'm safe here, it means you're not as safe out there. Be careful.
Yeah. Thanks. We'll be back in no time.
At that moment, Gwyneth stands up and gets off of her knees and pulls her arms out wide as this large, perfectly rounded stone begins to glow with not runes like someone may expect. No, these are markings that don't seem man-made. They are markings that would appear naturally, almost like roots of a tree that grow through the ground and spread, both to connect with other trees and plants, and also as a network of collecting nutrients and minerals. It's a similar kind of outstretched, glowing pattern from the top of this rock down into the ground, as if this rock itself was living and that it was reaching into the ground to connect with something. As it does, this glowing aura begins to just breathe from this rock. Gwynedd continues to hold her arms outstretched as if she was reaching around this rock, giving it a hug, and looks to both of you. It's time.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Just prepare yourself. It takes a long time to get used to how this travel is. Just kneel down and put your hands on the rock.
Okay.
Kaldin does so.
You kneel, put your hands on the rock, and as soon as both of you do, comfortably not moving, Gwynedd brings her arms together in a clap, and everything goes black. And it feels as if you're not in a void, because a void gives the inclination that there's nothing, that you are without material, that you are without life, without breath, without meaning, without energy. No. It is black, it is dark, but you have meaning, you have energy, you have matter. And it feels as if you're traveling with the planet, with the earth, with the plants and the animals. You are a part of nature, and it's not instantaneous, it takes time. And you can feel that it's taking time. Time is passing. And sure enough, after what feels like several days of not loneliness, you're connected to everything. It's almost several days of like a feeling of fulfillment. You rematerialize with hands on a different rock and immediately feel like you need to throw up.
Well, this part sucks.
Oh, I hate this feeling so much. Oh. I'm gonna
You
need a
okay?
minute.
Okay. Breaths. Breathe in. Oh, gods. You fuck.
Which way did we need to go from here?
Which way?
Luckily,
it was Dalavat and then which
yes,
way?
Dalavat, which luckily you remember both from the map and also from Talira just having a good sense of direction that we have established. That you know that to the northwest is Dalavat. And in fact, you can see the road that you are next to, that this extremely unassuming, not glowing whatsoever, this rock that you have your hands on that you just stood up from, is just an unassuming, weirdly round rock on the side of a dirt road. And you're next to a very large river that seems to be moving extremely slowly, but does have some sort of flow to it. And you can, as you look around, you can see the ecosystem, the climate, and everything that you are around has vastly changed, as you were just on the side of a mountain on the northern half of the lunar major mountains, I believe. And now you're next to this extremely wide, slow-moving river full of different tall grasses and marshy kind of material. The ground seems a little softer under your feet. And as soon as you're looking around, being like, I think we need to go that way, around the corner of the tree line, you hear the sound of a horse whinnying and clomping through the loose dirt.
Well, I think we need to go that way, but let's see who's coming. Maybe we might be able to hitch a ride.
And sure enough, right around the corner, not just one, not just two, not just three, but 4, 5, 6 wagons begin to come around, full of a variety of different horses. You start to hear the sound of lutes playing as you realize this is a caravan.
Hell yeah.
And they greet you wonderfully and allow you passage on their caravan through Dalavat, learning that this is a caravan hired by merchants, but full of adventurers of different kinds that all help these merchants to acquire really rare arcane components found only in this region. As you go through Dalavat, coming in one side of the city through the giant stone wall that surrounds it, the city existing upon a large hill. Not very steep, just large and wide. You go through Dalavat, seeing a culture you've never seen before. A variety of people, all fairly welcoming, but living just a different life. You come out the other side, seeing the marsh turn into swamp in the distance. As you know, you've got a couple-week hike into the bogs. Talira, if I remember correctly, you have a certain feature that allows you to find your way in the wilderness and things a little better, correctly?
I sure do. Let me pull up that character sheet here, and I can tell you exactly what it is. It is...
I feel like I'm in the moment. I got to keep it there so I can continue.
No, you're good.
Audience, I have my hand just up and raised as if I'm
Just
giving
like
a speech
ready.
right now.
You're Vanna Whiting to nothing.
Indeed.
It's the feature is called Wanderer. You have an
Wanderer.
excellent memory for maps and geography, and you can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided that the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth.
Fantastic. And indeed, you remember back before you all had left, there had been a little bit of time that we did not roleplay. That Gwynedd and specifically the Scoliad created this illusionistic map allowing for 3D image of terrain in a top-down way of the entire region of the southwest corner of Nitrotari, pointing out certain roads and certain terrains to stay away from, and you're able to guide yourself and Kaldin in the direction you need to go. Now, the direction you need to go obviously isn't inexact. You know that this blighted honeysuckle that you're looking for, it's not known where it's at. You just know the environment in which you can find it, and that it is located northeastern of Hedot, I believe is the town, in those bogs somewhere. You have a search upon you, and it's going to take time, and you have several weeks to even get there in the first place. As you continue along this hike for several weeks, something I want to ask both of you, is there, and during this hike, do you have any certain discussions that are highlighted, or is it just the normal Kaldin Talira being good buddies along this way, just making sure to really pay attention, keep alive, survive?
Most of it is just going to be their normal everyday talk. Talira wants to ask questions, but she is not sure how to bring anything up.
Does she try?
A little, but she definitely does not push.
What does she try to ask?
So, it's pretty clear the thing that had Lou is either similar or even the same as who had you. Is there anything I need to know to protect you?
I think for now it's more important we focus on your mom and Lou.
Okay.
All right. And you continue on. I did the all right thing again. You guys just called me out on that. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm catching it in real time.
There we go.
Audience, they're calling me out on all my little habits. All right, as we continue, I did it again. That's crazy.
You're gonna get so self-conscious about every single habit you have.
I really am.
Literally the only reason we call you out is because we listen to it for hours.
I know.
Hours in editing.
For anybody that doesn't listen to our to our credits at the end, you're talking to MJ and Rennie, who also happen to be the people who edit the show now, and have been for a while. So
Rip.
Yeah. They listen to me talk a lot. Anyway, as you all continue on after said conversation, you make your way into the swamps, and the swamps continue for so long, kind of going in between swamp and marsh, until you get to a point where the swamp starts to become even more acidic. The trees die down as far as size go, and you get into more of the barren bog land. Trees still exist in portions and in spots where the swamp kind of begins to meet with the bog in ways, providing certain spots that aren't maybe aren't as navigatable and maybe a little more dangerous, but sometimes unavoidable. And sure enough, as you go through one of these spots, the trees get a little thicker as ivy and dead amalgamations of flora hang from barely live branches. You hear a rustling.
In what direction from us? How close by?
It's a bit in the distance, less than 100 feet.
Do we both notice it right away?
I would say probably yes.
Does it have a sense of danger?
This
Does
one,
the
no.
rustle have a sense of danger to it?
Does the
Is there a
rustle have
sense of danger emanating from my axe?
Oh.
Not
You're going to say ass. Is there a
From
sense
your
of danger
ass.
emanating
Whoa.
from my ass?
Always. But not that kind. Healthy digestive system.
Too many beans, dude.
No.
No, not currently at least. But as the rustling continues, it turns less rustling, and it gets a little louder and changes sound as you're able to kind of locate it a little bit better. As you look, and you can see there's a mud mound in the distance, kind of in between a couple different trees, and it becomes a little more ferocious. And somehow, I don't even know how to describe the sound other than serrated. And weirdly enough, you hear some clucks thrown in there.
Serrated clucks.
Serrated clucks.
Now, we all know what that sounds like.
I don't know.
Everybody,
I'm still
take a
stuck on
moment.
Talira's ass, like being so great. Like the clapping of it is alerting the flora and fauna
Oh my god.
The clapping of her,
of her ass
serrated
cheeks.
ass.
Not her ass is not serrated.
That would be wild. That would be so wild.
I don't even want to imagine what that would look like.
Oh no! Why is my brain like this?
That's so funny.
Just imagine. What I just pictured was like a Microsoft Paint image of my Hero Forge Talira, but just instead of her butt, it's just like jagged lines.
Like pixel art?
Yeah, pixel art.
Okay.
That's
Mhm.
hilarious.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry. It's so good. To get back into it, as you guys hear this and you take notice and see the direction, very quickly, paying no attention to you. In fact, you don't really notice until it's past you. And again, your axe never gives you any warning. You see a slimy, sort of reptilian creature almost slither across the top of the shallow waters that surround this kind of swampy bog. Its wide, thin web claws extend out from its slender body, and it races towards the sound you just heard. Neither of you able to get a really good idea of what exactly this is, other than you can tell it's reptilian and amphibious in some manner. And the other thing you can probably notice is that this movement isn't normal for this thing. You can tell there's almost a sense of panic. Kaldin, you specifically, you get the sense that you recognize having a love for animals in a way that you've had before. You can recognize when a mother animal is in panic.
Oh. I think maybe her nest is being attacked. If we're near a nest, we should probably also be careful.
Good thinking, yes.
You continue on, finding as many footfalls that you're not going to sink into, trying to go through this more swampy area of the bog.
Holy
to get to the
shit!
trees.
Is that a vampire chicken?
A waterfowl, or at least that you assume, somehow appearing similar to a chicken, explaining the clucks that you heard. Small
The
hints of
serrated clucks.
the serrated clucks with almost like small hints of orange under its feathers. Its beak, you get just a blur of it, seeing that it is indeed a serrated beak.
I
it's about
thought
the
you were talking
size-
about the sound of the clucks also being orange, and I'm like, how do you hear orange? I
Orange,
hear
serrated
orange.
clucks.
I am a synesthete, but like, how do I describe orange to someone else?
Wild. Great question. What's also crazy, though, is the fact that it's also the size of Talira. and it's coming barreling through the mud towards the road and both of you at lightning speed.
Oh, holy shit!
Holy shit! Is that a vampire chicken?
I told you they're real!
And right
I
behind
already
it,
knew that!
and right behind it is the reptile that you saw running towards its nest just moments ago.
Move!
Yeah, she moves.
It blindly runs directly into you, Kaldin, knocking you off your feet, sending blood splatter and yolk off of its beak from the eggs that it was just consuming. And continues on as if you did not exist, just plowing through this obstacle. And it's quickly out of sight.
Fuck! Ow.
The slithering lizard gives up as it nears you all, not caring and not wanting to be around any other potential predators, and goes back to what is left of its nest.
I probably should have also moved.
Are you okay?
Yeah. It's my pride more than anything. Actually, I might be bruised.
Well, that'll heal at least. It'll put some color on you. You're really pale, you know.
I don't think purple skin is my color.
Oh, good point. That's fair. When I blush purple, but I'm Goliath. I have gray skin.
As you all have a moment of trying to gather yourself, having this conversation, assuming that the danger is gone, it is in fact not. As a little bubbling of water from the shallow water, as it's near Kaldin, the water bubbles, and you don't see it until it moves, as a large creature lunges and snaps its long-toothed jaws at you.
Kaldin okay. What is the position between Kaldin and Talira versus the water? Like, is she behind him as far as where the water is?
No, it is water, Kaldin, Talira, tree. In a line, essentially.
He wants to somehow shove her out of the way while also moving.
So you're going to move forward to Talira, trying to shove her away from the water, like into the tree, or I guess to the side of the tree?
It's just like out of the path of where this thing is moving.
Okay, it mainly has lunged from directly behind you, as you somehow were able to notice it in time.
I heard the noise.
So Kaldin hears something. Do I feel any sort of thing?
Yes, as Kaldin is lunging towards you, narrowly avoiding the snap of this creature that you see as it snaps. You can see its perfect camouflage of its scaled reptilian torso already beginning to change color again. Kaldin realizes why he lunged at you, not realizing it before, but rather in real time before he could even think. He just reacted as he noticed an eye blink on the tree behind you. As basically the same creature, just a different one, lunges off the side of this tree, snatching its large crocodile-like jaws across you, just nicking your armor. Kaldin luckily saving you. And at this point you were distracted, and you're feeling your axe pulse.
So I felt the axe go, and as this is going, Talira is about to say, "Oh shit! Something wants us. Are we running or Kaldin? Oh shit!"
And as quickly as it started, these what are known as Camilodiles scurry into the water and disappear, not able to be seen. As quickly as they lunged, they're gone again.
I think best to be super on our guard now.
I think so, yes.
And as you all continue on guard through the swamps into the bogs, you find that the kind of mixture of the two different ecosystems begin to fade as it becomes just boggy. And you on guard, taking watch as much as needed, a few days of searching these bogs, finding nothing. And finally, it's almost as if a deity presented it to you. In the middle of the bog, there seems to be a risen area, a little mound of dirt that seems like less soaked with water, almost like it's dry because the plant's using it. You see a bush, blighted and black, yet these golden honeysuckles glowing off of it, as if saying fuck you to nature itself.
Is this it?
Think
It
that's
has to be it.
That's the only thing it can be.
I'll be honest, I wasn't sure we were going to be able to find it.
I mean, they said it was here, so... But yeah.
How do we... Did he say it needed to be fresh? I don't remember. It's been so long. How do we... We should have brought a spell for that. Fuck.
And there, as you all have finally found it, yet to approach it, trying to figure out exactly what to do from here on out. I have to ask, do you approach it?
Knowing what we know about this area and the amount of care we have had to take with maneuvering, Kaldin is going to be doing like a pretty thorough look around and kind of like hold his hand in front of Talira like, okay, we need to make sure that we're not about to die going to grab this flower.
Good move, because Talira absolutely would have taken a step towards that flower.
And as you do that, Talira, you also, being almost reminded by this from Kaldin, to have a sense of caution. One thing you remember, as you start to think cautiously about this area, you start to put two and two together. Where are you on the map? And you think maybe you might be in the Firebomb Mudlands. And upon remembering that, there were a few things, creatures per se, beasts, monsters of the region that you may need to be worried about. And one of those was different forms of giant snakes.
Cool. Cool.
Nice. I like giant snakes. They
They're
kill you
fun.
easily. Now, are these the venomous kind or the
Or, like,
strangle you to death kind?
Yeah.
A solid mix.
Ah,
Cool.
nice. Love
Fun.
it.
Different,
Love
you
to
know,
see it.
different ones. Yep. So
Do we get the vibe of any around, perchance?
Do we sense any snakes or snake-like
Do we hear
behaviors?
any snakes?
where are you currently
we-
standing?
On solid ground? I don't know.
We're in a bog, nothing solid. It's kind of like marshy and squishy.
I don't know. The
Mhm.
closer you are to, like, tree roots.
Oh, that's fair.
You know, I would say, I mean, at some point you all are going to cautiously approach this bush, correct?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Indeed. Are we completely covered in, like, dried mud at this point?
Probably up to like mid-torso, yeah.
Nice.
Fun.
Love to see
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. I'll say when you do finally cautiously approach this blighted bush, you don't notice any snakes yet by any means, but your axe begins to pulse.
Something wants us. Let's keep an eye out.
Watch my back.
If you watch mine.
All right, as you move forward and you get to this bush, the water all around you begins to move.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
All right, back.
Not only that, but the mud that you had just walked through, that you thought almost looked like a walking path, moves as it begins to fall around a body that is rising.
What the fuck is that?
Snake? How close did I get to the flower?
If you're the one leading, you got to it.
Okay. I'm gonna grab it real fast.
All right, you're gonna try to rip off with just one honeysuckle?
Yeah. Whatever I can.
Okay. We'll say you managed to get 2 or 3 in a very quick succession. But in the same manner, very quickly, as these things, whenever they're ready to attack, snakes don't move slowly. As you see this massive slithering body rising, a head comes out of the water as you are face to face with the Titanoboa. As it continues to move and tighten in around you, rising up around this blighted bush. And you.
Talira rushes in and picks Kaldin up to as she goes giant, and she basically scruffs Kaldin by whatever she can grab of him and moves him out of the way.
All right, so to be able to get Kaldin out of the way of being constricted, it will require Kaldin to be thrown, as it is rising around you all.
I believe I can fly.
All right, get ready for a tough landing, Kaldin. And she politely hucks him.
Politely.
With
love
all
that.
due respect, yeet.
Fantastic.
Kobe.
Yes, Kobe for accuracy, yeet for distance.
There we go. Kaldin is yeeted out of the incoming constriction as very quickly after that, Talira, you yourself in this giant form are constricted. This thing being so massive that in your giant form, your body is not able to be seen, only your head.
Shit.
Thalira!
All right, well, it's a good thing she's strong AF. She's strong. She is going to, as this thing is closing around her, she's making sure she has her axe up and in front of her chest and just starts, you know that scene from Kill Bill in Kill Bill 2 when she's in the coffin and she's just like...
Yes.
That moment with just, getting herself out of this boa, just death by 1,000 little cuts.
Okay, as you're
With this
sitting there
axe.
trying to get it, it's making just tiny little, it's not like this boa, it has like titanium skin or anything. You're absolutely doing damage, but as it's continuing to slither and constrict, you're not doing damage in the same spot. So it is quite literally like death by 1,000 little cuts. It's little chunk here, chunk here, chunk here, chunk here. Kaldin, what are you doing?
Kaldin has also thrown several of psychic daggers at this thing.
Yeah.
And
of course,
is on his way to come back, negating Talira's throwing of him.
and of course, as this thing is like closing in, I'm sure her legs are fairly constricted. She's still like pushing out with her chest and her shoulders and, all of that good stuff, trying to...
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So as you're doing that, Kaldin, you throw those psychic daggers at it, and you find that they're doing quite a bit of damage. This thing is not super intelligent, it's not super wise, it is a beast, and so any kind of saving throws that it would have to make, it very quickly starts failing. As this thing reels back, and you hear a loud hiss, almost like a steam engine hiss, is what it's going to sound similar to. As it reels back and it constricts further to allow itself more of its body to use as a neck so it can try to strike at you.
Oh, that's fine. The next time it tries that and Talira cuts, she is going to activate one of her giant runes to do some additional fire damage to it.
Fantastic. What do you do, Kaldin?
As its mouth opens, he's actually going to take one of his real daggers that he has, and he wants to chuck it into that thing's mouth.
Hell yeah.
Fantastic, and you do it as it slides on down its gullet. At first, not seeming like it's doing anything, but then you start to see little shivers at certain parts of its body as it's constricting tighter and tighter as it's starting to poke within it, as if it would be taking damage every round, for instance. As the axe on fire lights into the side of this Titanoboa, it finally takes enough damage and enough pain where it begins to loosen just enough for Talira to be able to push out with her elbows.
Fuck yeah. And as she gets herself free of the boa, she takes her axe and just whacks at the head.
Fantastic. Any last attacks from Kaldin as well?
A few more psychic daggers as he is moving out of the way of where the head is facing as quickly as he can, but he wants to get over to Talira to try and help her get out. Not that he can carry her weight at all.
As you are rushing to Talira, it actually goes to make a strike at you. And as it does, you notice throw a psychic dagger and it almost stops in its tracks as it has to reel back from the immense amount of pain that hits its head. And in that moment, it happens to reel back towards Talira, allowing the axe to find home in the base of its skull. As it finally falls limp as you get there, Kaldin. And you all have made it out alive.
Nice.
Fuck. Let's, I'm not really enjoying my time here. How about we leave?
That sounds like a good plan. I'd like to get these back to Mom. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I've seen worse.
We'll unpack that later.
I think that is a great line to end on. I think right there is where we're going to end this. Oh my gosh. As you all have survived the encounter with the great Titanoboa, surprisingly, not as strong as it seems, really ruling the ecosystem in that like specific area, just basically on size for the most part. Great job, guys, and we'll pick up right where we left off in another bonus episode coming to you soon. Audience, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
We would like to thank our cast, myself, Curtis Woosley, as the GM, MJ Guenther as Talira Grimstone Eku'Lanathi, Sapheara as Maeve Strongheart, Rennie Armas as Kaldin, and Jack Baldwin as Jellen Ykalle. Additional thanks to Sentic GFX for our graphics, to MJ and Rennie here for our show editing, and our intro and outro music composed by Ryan Moons, owner-operator of Eyes on the Moon Studios. Our mind's eye takes us to a plane that is not of the material. No, it is a plane of the primordial, one might say a primordial mirror of the material. Our mind's eye takes us to a scene that is many miles from the edge of the Sea of Wildfire, to a town, an outpost, mind you, off the edge of the mountainside, finding some sort of shelter. Within a large limestone igloo, the sound of a chest rustling open is heard as a fiery red-skinned Genasi makes his way through the door. Galette, glad to see you're awake. I've got some good news for you. Our gal, Verutha. I've been informed she will no longer be providing her services for us. A gray-skinned Genasi with vibrant blue fire emitting out of the top of his head in the shape of almost a mohawk, rises up off of one knee from opening this chest, holding a sword that appears to be broken off just half a foot above the hilt being of radiant fire-enchanted gold, emitting heat visibly. This man turns to the Genasi who just entered within his igloo. Ah, Verutha's gone. Glad to hear it. I believe now we can finally take the next steps towards the resolution of my father's plan. This Genasi, called Galette, reaches back down into the chest to grab a sheath that he pulls out and places this broken sword into. The sheath adorned with the finest engravings of flame patterns seen in all the lands, as if it's living. And just above the roar of the ever-burning flames of this region, you can hear the whisper of this Genasi speaking to the sword. Don't worry, the elements will be reborn in your honor, father. And our mind's eye retreats from the scene as the roar of those flames continues forevermore.